Hello guys and welcome to this video. Today we are going to talk about the most successful fighter ace in the history of aerial warfare, Erich Hartmann. Erich was a German fighter pilot during World War II and flew a total of 1,404 combat missions and participated in aerial combat on 825 separate occasions. He was credited with shooting down a total of 352 Allied aircraft. During the course of his career, he was never shot down by direct enemy action. Nicknamed the Black Devil, Erich was born on the 19th of April 1922 in Württemberg, Weimar Republic to Dr. Alfred Hartmann and his wife, Elisabeth Machtolf. However, the economic depression that followed World War I in Germany prompted Dr. Hartmann to find work in China, and Erich spent his early childhood there, but the family was forced to return to Germany in 1928, when the Chinese Civil War broke out. Hartmann's flying career began when he joined the glider training program of the fledgling Luftwaffe and was taught to fly by his mother, one of the first female glider pilots in Germany. The Hartmanns also owned a light aircraft but were forced to sell it in 1932 as the German economy collapsed. The rise to power of the Nazi Party in 1933 resulted in government support for gliding, and, in 1936, Elisabeth Hartmann established the Glider Club in Weil im Schonbuch for locals and served as instructor. The 14-year-old Hartmann became a gliding instructor in the Hitler Youth. He joined the Luftwaffe in 1940 and completed his fighter pilot training in 1942 and was posted to the veteran Jagdgeschwader 52, JG-52, on the Eastern Front and placed under the supervision of some of the Luftwaffe's most experienced fighter pilots. Hartmann flew his first combat mission on the 14th of October 1942 as Rossmann's wingman. When they encountered 10 enemy aircraft below, an impatient Hartmann opened full throttle and separated from Rossmann. He engaged an enemy fighter, but failed to score any hits and nearly collided with it. He then ran for cover in low cloud, and his mission subsequently ended with a crash landing after his aircraft ran out of fuel. Hartmann had violated almost every rule of air-to-air combat that day, and was sentenced to 3 days of working with the ground crew. According to Günther Rall, who later became Hartmann's Gruppenkommandeur, Rossmann refused to fly with Hartmann ever again following this incident. Hartmann was then paired up with Grieswifsky as his wingman. 22 days later, Hartmann claimed his first victory, an Ilyushin Il-2 Sturmovik of the 7th Guards Ground Attack Aviation Regiment, but by the end of 1942, he had added only one more victory to his tally. As with many high-claiming aces, it took him some time to establish himself as a consistently successful fighter pilot. In preparation for Operation Citadel, his Gruppe was relocated to the central sector of the Eastern Front. The Gruppe first moved to Zaporizhzhia and then to Ugrim on the 3rd of July. On the 5th of July, Hartmann claimed 4 victories during the large dogfights that took place during the Battle of Kursk. The day ended badly when Hartmann was unable to prevent Krupinski, to whom he was assigned as wingman, from being shot down and wounded over Ugrim airfield. Hartmann remarked, "The departure of Krupinski was a severe strike against the Staffel, and particularly against me." During Krupinski's convalescence, Hartmann served as temporary Staffelkapitän or squadron leader of 7 Staffel until the 12th of August. Hartmann began to score successes regularly in a target-rich environment. On the 7th of July, he for the first time became an ace in a day, claiming 7 aerial victories that day. On the 29th of October 1943, Hartmann was awarded the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross for 148 enemy aircraft destroyed and the Oak Leaves to the Knight's Cross for 202 enemy aircraft on the 2nd of March 1944. Exactly 4 months later, he received the Swords to the Knight's Cross with Oak Leaves for 268 enemy aircraft shot down. Ultimately, Hartmann earned the coveted Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross with Oak Leaves, Swords and Diamonds on the 25th of August 1944 for 301 aerial victories. At the time of its presentation to Hartmann, this was Germany's highest military decoration. Hartman achieved his 352nd and last aerial victory at midday on the 8th of May 1945, hours before the German surrender. Along with the remainder of JG-52, he surrendered to United States Army forces and was turned over to the Red Army. In an attempt to pressure him into service with the Soviet-friendly East German National People's Army, he was tried on war crimes charges and convicted. He was initially sentenced to 20 years of imprisonment, later increased to 25 years, and spent 10 years in Soviet prison camps and gulags until he was released in 1955. In 1956, Hartman joined the newly established West German Air Force in the Bundeswehr, and became the first Geschwader Commodore of Jagdgeschwader 71, Richthofen. He was retired in 1970, due to his opposition to the procurement of the F-104 Starfighter. In his later years became a civilian flight instructor. Hartman died on the 20th of September 1993 at the age of 71.